And that doesn't necessarily mean that they need to slow it down and be ISO all in the half court. But they need to be deliberate about their opportunities to run and deliberate about their opportunities to execute quickly in the half court. If they find themselves chasing Indiana, I don't like it. I think Indiana is really, really good. I take nothing away from that group, Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam. I think Andrew Nembhard and Nesmith don't get enough credit in terms of their defensive versatility on the wing.
Totally agree.
This is going to be a slugfest, and it's really going to be the battle of styles in it. So yeah, like they're deep, they're fast. I really enjoyed the opportunities I've had to chat with Coach Carlisle. I had one of their games versus the Milwaukee Bucks in that series. You can look at the Cleveland series and say, all right, well, they were hurt. And I think that's fair, but I still don't take anything away. Just like the Knicks, they had to make the most of the mishaps that the Celtics made. Indiana made the most of the mishaps for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I don't take anything away from them.
Eminem, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. I could just say thank you, but you know me, I'm going to do a little extra.
Come on.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Take it easy, all right? I'll see you soon.
Okay.
The one and only Monica McNutt in the house right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show. She's special. Special talent for us. Really, really appreciate her taking time out of her busy schedule. She didn't have to do that, so I really, really am thankful for her. She's a great girl. Great analyst, by the way, doing big things. Proud to call her a colleague. Coming up, former President Joe Biden is diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. I'll get into that straight ahead, but first, we'll get into the NBA playoffs and the conference finals. The Knicks will host the Pacers, and the Thunder will host Ant-Man and the T-Wolves. I know I just talked to Eminem about it, but damn it, I'm going to elaborate even further. We'll break it all down next right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Don't go away. All right, folks, you need to all stop what you're doing and listen up. You know I love this time of year, right? The NBA playoffs are in full effect. And with all this action jumping off, the Stephen A. Smith Show wants to make sure you take advantage of it all. That's why we partnered with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching sports. The app is easy to use, you know. Just pick more or less on a few player stats and you can win up to 2,000 times your cash on a single lineup. Best of all, Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 just for playing. Use promo code SAS and download the app now. Again, download the app and use code SAS to get $50 instantly after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Hey, run your game. My New York Knicks are balling. In case y'all missed it. They now face the Indiana Pacers at Madison Square Garden for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals this Wednesday night. So I'll give you my picks, okay, for Game 1. So let's get to it. First up, will Jalen Brunson score more or less than 28.5 points? You know, I think this game it might be less. You know, he'll have 25, 26, 27, something like that. But I think he might have less than 28.5 points in this particular game. He'll size him up and then slay him later on in the series. But Game 1, 28.5 points. I'm going to go with slightly less than that when it comes to Jalen Brunson for Game 1. Next up, we'll call Anthony Towns. Catman, score more or less than 22.5 points. I'm going to assume he's going to score more because Indiana's defense is not elite. He's had success against them this season. I think him scoring more than 22.5 points is not unreasonable. I'm going to go with more with this particular one. Next up, will Tyrese Halliburton, Mr. Overrated, according to NBA players who are fools, will he score more or less than 18.5 points? I'm going with less for him with Game 1 as well. I think he'll size folks up, looking to get everybody involved. I can see him having a double-double, but is he going to score more than 18.5 points? Although he could easily. I'm suspecting that won't be the case in Game 1. Rest of the series, that remains to be seen. Finally, will Pascal Siakam score more or less than 18.5 points? Now, I think he's going to get off. I think he's going to look to be aggressive. He's going to look to be aggressive, not just in shooting perimeter shots, but driving it into the paint, putting the ball on the floor that way. I think he'll do that, and I think that probably in a losing effort, he'll still be aggressive, and he'll score more than 18.5 points. So let's recap. Less for Jalen Brunson, more for Karl Anthony Towns, less for Tyrese Halliburton, and more for Pascal Siakam. That's it. Those are my picks for Game 1 this coming Wednesday. Go to Prize Picks app and check out the Stephen A. Smith Show community play. It's boosted 25%, y'all, in case you didn't know. Welcome back to Stephen A. Smith Show. Let's get to the NBA playoffs and the conference finals, which tip off tomorrow night with the Thunder hosting the Timberwolves. But we're not going to begin there, by the way. No, we're going to start in the Eastern Conference, where my New York Knicks will host the Indiana Pacers. The Knicks have made the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years, and I'm here for it all. Here's the deal, y'all. I'll elaborate more on this Wednesday leading into game one, but I couldn't be more ecstatic than I have been. Orange and blue skies, baby. I'm just getting emotional. Hold on. I'm just getting emotional. I waited a long time for this. Long time. And here's what I want to say. You know, you got a lot of people out there, man, you know, you can't be rooting for them. Man. Y'all kiss my ass. I root for whoever I want to root for. I've been a diehard New York Knicks fan all my life. Y'all wasn't telling me not to be a fan when their ass was going home. You wasn't telling me not to be a fan when they stunk. You wasn't telling me not to be a fan when they were awful. You understand? And they were basketball purgatory and they were an embarrassment. And you see all of us right there, a whole bunch of New York Knicks fans everywhere. My man Jalen Brunson came up to me. Let me share with y'all what he said. He said, I'm not going to even say nothing to you. That's what he said to me. Because I was the fool who said I didn't see a first round pick in the draft when he was coming out of it. I said, I don't see a first round pick out of Villanova. I was talking about him. He reminds me of that every time he sees me. You understand? Because he knows I got to eat crow. I've been eating crow since he helped the Dallas Mavericks get to the Western Conference Finals when Luka was hurt. I've been eating crow since he arrived in New York. You know the brother's averaging 30 a game since he arrived in New York in the postseason. 30 a game in the postseason. That's who he is, leader scorer in the postseason. That's Jalen Brunson. The brother's spectacular. Got to give him love. Got to stand down. Got to bow down. Got to acknowledge he's special. And I completely underestimated him. And you know what makes it even more excusable? His daddy, Rick Brunson, had told me the brother was going to be special, but I didn't listen. Because Rick Brunson and I go back years. I covered Rick Brunson when he was playing at Temple. That's how far back we go. And he told me his son Jalen was going to be special. And he's right. He's right. I have to stand down and concede this brother's son special. I'll get into that matchup between him and Tyrese Halliburton later on Wednesday, to be specific. The only other thing that I want to add is this. I could be wrong in a lot of people's eyes by saying this. I don't think that I am. Not that it's on anybody's mind. But I've gotten to a point where I'd like to see Tyrese Halliburton's dad back in the stands. I don't want him on the court. I don't want him taunting players. He was certainly misbehaving. What he did with Giannis was inexcusable. And he's been, you know, he apologized. He showed contrition. All of us make mistakes. All of us are better than our worst moments, one would like to believe. I wouldn't mind seeing his dad back in the stands while Halliburton is doing what he's been doing. He deserved to be banned from the games, even though it appears mutually agreed upon and all that. But he deserves it. He deserves the criticism he received. What he doesn't